Students, Sairam, this is Megha Miss here, and today we are going to start with a new lesson in your EVS 1, that is science, lesson number 4, environmental balance. So the previous chapter which you studied, that is the constituents of food, I hope you have understood all the concepts in that chapter and you have revised that chapter. Okay students, so today we will start with the new lesson. Now from the lesson name itself, environmental balance, so there the word environment is there. So I hope you have got an idea that we are going to study something about the environment. Okay, now the next slide what I am showing you is a picture. I hope every one of you can see this picture. Yes, now in this picture what you are going to do, make a list of all living things you see there. Okay, if you do not know the names of any of the living things you see, make a note of them, describing their shape, color, sound, shelter, etc. Or draw their pictures. Count how many types of living things you see. Okay students, so here what you are going to do is, whatever the picture I am showing you again, you are going to say it and you are going to make a note of all the living things you see in this picture. Might be 4 to 5. I'll wait. You take your book, you take a pen or a pencil and make a list of the living things. Okay students, you may start. I hope you are doing, huh? If you don't know the name, you can write anything about the color, you can draw the picture. Okay, I'm going to tell you the list. Okay, so don't worry, you may match it with your list. I hope till now you must have written 4 to 5 names. Yes? Okay, we'll see. Okay, so shall I continue? Yes, I'll continue. Okay, the next slide is the same what I told you. You may repeat this activity near your house or in your school whenever you come back, or in any field when you visit some other place. Okay, now what are my list of living things? My list of living things are, first I saw human beings. Yes, you also saw them. Yes, there were 2 grandchildren and their grandfather. Yes, next I saw birds. There were cows, rabbits, fishes, trees, dog, butterfly, goat, etc. So your list may also contain something else. Very good observations then. Okay, this was the list of mine. So you can match it with my list. Okay, so you saw that in that one place you saw so many variety in the living things, right? You saw so many things, right? Now sometimes what happens, you may see that there the living thing is not present, but some of its marks are there. Like if I show you the next picture, if you see a nest on a tree, you will say that yes miss, nest is there, means a bird is staying there. Yes, but you may not see that bird, but you may see the nest and you can conclude that yes miss, a bird will be staying in that nest. If you say see eggs in that, you will say yes miss, the bird must be there. Yes, if you see a honeycomb, you understand that honeybee must be there somewhere there. Yes, if you see half eaten fruits, like here you can see a squirrel which is eating some nut. Okay, now if you see this half eaten nuts of fruits, you will say that yes miss, some animals are present here, right? So like this, even though you cannot see the animal present there, but because of their some things, we can say that yes, there is a presence of a particular living things in that particular place. Okay students, So actually, even though you don't see the animal or the bird, but because of its things, you can say that yes, that particular bird or animal is present there. Okay. Now, so the variety we see in all living things that belong to a particular area is called the biodiversity of that place. Yes, student, what is the new word you are studying here? Biodiversity. Bio means living, diversity means variety. Okay. So the variety we see in all living things. Now in picture also you saw so many living things. You saw animals, you saw plants, you saw human beings also. Yes. So that all whatever variety you saw in the living things that belong to that particular area or a place, we will call it as the biodiversity of that place. Okay, students. Now to study the biodiversity of a place, scientists make a large number of observations. So to study the biodiversity is not very easy. We have to make different observations. Now you observe now a particular place, like that the scientist also goes at different places and they observe the things, okay, the living things. They make this observation in different conditions such as day and night, different seasons, etc. Okay, students. So they may have to work day and night in different seasons. Okay. Now they use special devices to make observations of living things that are found at great heights, means at the mountain regions, or in depths. Depth means what? In under the sea, as well as of microorganisms. Now I hope microorganisms means very small living organisms which you cannot see with your naked eyes. Okay. So such microorganisms are also studied by the scientist. Okay. Observations of many scientists are brought together and studied again. So many scientists study together. They bring their whatever observations they have made, they bring at one place. They discuss between them and then they decide the biodiversity of the place. So only when all such efforts are made over a long period of time can be sure of the biodiversity of a place. Yes, students. So when many scientists they study together, they make their observations and they study these observations together, then only a biodiversity of a place is discussed. Okay. Now if I show you this forest picture, okay, now this is the biodiversity which we found in the forest. Why I will say biodiversity of a forest? Because in the forest I can see different types of trees, different height of trees, right? Some may be very tall, some may be very short. Okay, I will say different kinds of animals I can see. Some may be microorganisms in the soil, some may be the one animals, some may be the animals which I will see which are hanging, some are walking. So here I can see the monkeys, they are hanging there on the branches. I can see the deer. Okay, I can see very short plants. I can see I can see in the forest I can see the birds also. Okay, so this is an example of the forest biodiversity. Okay, understood, students, what is a biodiversity? Okay, now the next topic we are starting, that is the environment. Now what is the environment? The surroundings and the conditions in those surroundings which affects the life of the organisms there are together known as their environment. Yes, students. So the surroundings and the conditions in those surroundings which affects the life of the organisms there are together known as the environment. It includes many components such as sunlight, air, water, soil, plants, animals, etc. So what is our environment? Environment means the surrounding and the conditions that in those surroundings which affect the life of the organisms there are known together as their environment. Means what, student? For example, if I say our human being, we will take an example of the human beings. Now we are having a particular body temperature. We feel hot because when we go in sunlight. So all these different conditions are there in which we are living. So all this together is our environment. Okay students, so the place where we are staying and this all conditions which are affecting our life are together called as our environment. Okay students, yes, we are affected by sunlight, we are affected by air, yes, we are affected by the water. If you don't drink water for a long days, will you be fine? No, you will feel lot of thirst, right? So all these things are important for us. If is no soil, will I get my grains? No, because I can't plant my seeds. Because of the soil only I'll get my food. Yes, because of the animals. If I want good, you have studied constituents of food, right? So if I want a good nourishment, I will require to eat some animals also for the nourishments, right? So all these things are very important, which are a part of our environment. Okay students, now living and non-living things are dependent on each other. Okay, there is a lot of give and take or interaction between them. So all the living things and non-living things, they are always dependent on each other. Yes students, we are always dependent on the living and non-living things. Okay, so the environmental science, this is the branch of the science that studies this interaction. This is one of the branch in the science which is studying this interactions between the living and the non-living organisms. Okay students, or things we can say. Now what are these, we will see. Okay, now here if you see, we'll start with the interaction between living and non-living factors. Now first diagram, you can see that squirrel eating that nut. Okay, she is on a branch. Okay, now that nut is a whatever the food the squirrel is eating, it's a non-living thing. Yes, but she is getting her food, she is getting nutritions from that food. But that nut is grown on a plant. A plant is a living thing. Yes, so a living squirrel depends upon a nut which is a non-living thing. Okay students, like this everything is interconnected. Second example, if you see that mice is eating that grains. Now that grains are a non-living thing, but from where I got that grains? I got that grains from the crops. Now crops are the plants, they are living things. So from a living thing I got a non-living thing, and on that non-living thing a living thing is again dependent. Okay, so all are interconnected, we can say. Okay, if there are no grains, can that mice live alive without food? No. So we say that the living and non-living things are interacting with each other. Both are very important. Okay students, now next example we'll see. You can see a fish and water is there, right? Now that fish is swimming in that water. Now if the water is not there, will that fish remain alive? No. You will say, no miss, the fish will die. Yes, the fish will die. Okay, so water is a non-living thing. Yes student, but it is very important for fish to remain alive. Yes, so a living fish is dependent on the non-living water. I hope students you are understanding these examples. Okay, again if you see the next example, that is a chameleon. You can see she is on a branch. Yes, again she is on a branch. Now that branch there is a non-living, because it is half cut. You can see it is a whole tree is not shown there. So a living thing is depending on the non-living. She is on that branch, but when I attach that branch to the plant or a tree, of course it will become a living, and hence they are dependent on each other. Okay students, now next example you can see here, plants make their own food. Yes, plants, they make their own food, but to make their own food, what they require? They require sunlight, they require air. From the air they will take carbon dioxide. What students they will take from the air? Carbon dioxide gas. And they require water. Okay students, so now see, sunlight, air, that is the carbon dioxide gas, and the water, soil, what is there which is required for the plant to grow, all these things are a non-living things, right? But the plant which is going to grow from that is a living thing. So is again all the living and non-living connected? Yes. So if there is no sunlight, can the plant make the food? No. If there is no food, can the plant remain alive? No. So sunlight is important. If carbon dioxide gas is not there, can the plant make the food? No, students. They cannot make the food if carbon dioxide gas is not there. So again they are depending on a non-living thing for making their food. Again, if water is not there, will the plant can make the food? No. If soil is not there, can the plant grow? No. So all these non-living things which are there, they are very important for the plant to grow. So I hope you understood the interaction between the living and the non-living things. Okay, students? Now the next topic we are going to study, that is the food chain. Okay. Now what is this food chain? Now here you can see, look at the picture below. You can see this picture. What you can see in this picture? You can see a sun is there. You can see some crops are there, or grass you can see. Okay. Then you can see an arrow. It is pointing towards a grasshopper. Okay. I hope every one of you know what is a grasshopper. And that one more arrow is there which is pointing from the grasshopper to a bird. Okay. So here a grasshopper eats the grass. What the grasshopper will do? It will eat the grass and the leaves, and the birds will eat this grasshopper. Okay. Now why the sun is there then? Because to grow, for the growth of the grass and the leaves, you will require the sunlight. Now only we studied. Yes. So if there is no sun, will be there any grass and leaves? No. Then if there grass and leaves are not there, will the grasshopper be alive? No. If the grasshopper is not there, can that bird be alive? No. So all of them are depending on each other, and grasshopper's food is leaves and grass. Bird's food is grasshopper. So they are linked in a chain. Are they making a chain there? Yes. So we called it as the food chain. Yes, students. What we called it as the food chain. So the grasshoppers eat the grass and leaves. Birds eat the grasshopper. Okay. So we will study in detail. In the picture, first picture, what we see, the sun, some plants, a grasshopper and a bird. They are all connected. As I told you now, each of the components, plants, grasshopper, bird, is the food for the next one. Okay. That is why we say that they form a chain. Such a chain is called as food chain. What you will call it as the food chain. Each of these components is a link in a food chain. They are linked together. Okay. So if the, as I told you, if sun is not there, no grass, no leaves. If no grass, no leaves, no grasshopper. If no grasshoppers, no birds will be remaining alive. But if there is a sun, there will be grass and leaves. That grass and leaves, who will eat? Grasshopper. Grasshopper will be eaten by the birds, and also bird may be eaten by someone else. So like this, the food chain continues in our environment. Now this detail about the food chain we will study in our next presentation. Okay, students. Now we will see what we have studied today. Okay. So we studied living things in the surrounding. Yes, you made a list also. Yes. Then we studied the biodiversity of a particular place. We saw about an example of forest biodiversity. Yes, you saw how the forest biodiversity was. Different types of plants, different animals, different microorganisms may also be there. Yes, so all them together we'll call it as the biodiversity of that place. Then we saw about the environment, whatever the conditions are in our surrounding and the surrounding which affects our life, we call them as the environment. Okay, student. All the components of environment also we saw: soil, there was sunlight, there was water, there were plants, animals. Okay, then we saw the interaction between living and the non-living things in the surroundings. Yes, both the living and non-living things are important in the surroundings because we are all depending on the non-living things also. Okay, then we saw the food chain, a small food chain we saw. Yes, we saw one sun was there, then sunlight was taken up by grass and leaves, then that grass and leaves became the food for the grasshopper, and the grasshopper became the food for the birds. Yes, so they were all linked together, and such a link we called it as the food chain. Okay, because it is a type of a chain, and if any one of them is broken down, the food chain will break down. Okay, if any one of the component is not there, then the food chain will break down. Okay, so we'll do a detailed study of food chain in again next presentation. So I hope what you studied today is understood by you. Okay, you will study all these topics again. Definitions you will write down in your book. Practice the hard words so that it will be easier for you to write the definition. Definition should be always the words from the textbook, how the sentence is given in the textbook, same way you will write. Okay, student? So, you may study this definitions and you may study this food chain. Okay, so I hope what I taught you today you have understood each and every concept. Okay, you're going to practice it. So for today I'll stop it here. Thank you. Sai Ram.